Good morning. My name is Mia Mathern, and I will be taking you guys through important information regarding being an approved presenter at this year's Teacher Leader Summit. Throughout the morning session, the presentation, like I mentioned, will be dropped into the chat for you to be able to access there. Please note, we will also be offering another session, another presenter session on Thursday at 4 o'clock. So if you have any friends who are not able to join this call today, just be sure to share with them that that is available. Go ahead and type your name, if you don't mind, into the chat right now. We will go ahead and grab that information at the end of the session, just so that we can see that all presenters, because this is mandatory for attendance, were in attendance today. All right, so here is our agenda for the call. At the end of the call today, we will be allowing you time to ask questions, and hopefully we will have those answers for you. You can type those in the chat at the end of the session, or if something pops into your head during the session, if you'd like to go ahead and put it in the chat at any time, that's fine too. But at the end of today's session, we will allow for a Q&A. All right, so just a little quick welcome. We are so thankful for the many educators and partner organizations who give their time, knowledge, and expertise to help create and lead sessions each year. Your support is a huge part of what makes Teacher Leader Summit a success, and we are really appreciative of everything that you do. So I do think that this is going to be the best summit yet. I think that the presentations are cohesive and coherent, and that you were able to use the information that we provided to you to ensure that that happened. So we're really excited about that. So I'm just going to share a little bit of information about Teacher Leader Summit with you. I know you probably already know this information, but just to kind of recap, the 2025 Teacher Leader Summit is an annual professional conference that brings together Louisiana's birth to grade 12 educators and content experts. Educators participating in the event will share their knowledge, learn new skills, and prepare for the 25-26 school year, which is just crazy that we're already 25-26. And we are going to talk about the theme, which is a new story for Louisiana education. Remember that those dates are June 10th through the 12th. And of course, the location is the Morial Convention Center in New Orleans. The 2025 Teacher Leader Summit will feature a wide range of sessions led by LDOE staff, partner organizations, and educators from across Louisiana, giving participants the opportunity to choose topics that best support their professional learning. So we are super excited about the vast array of content sessions that are going to be offered. And just to give you a little bit information about best practices for session delivery on the next slide. So just be sure, and we were able to really go through each session and ensure that all of this was happening. But it's just important as a presenter that you are really internalizing and thinking through these best practices as you're actually in the process of presenting. And so just ensuring that your session is engaging. Please be sure that you are using the entire length of time, filling in all that presentation space, not allowing for any downtime. We only have 70-minute long sessions, and so we're hoping that all of those are really packed from start to finish with great information. Aligning them to the state priorities, best practices, and research. And if you are an approved presenter, which all of you are on this call, you may remember seeing a comment from me in your decks asking you, how is this session aligned to state priorities? Just be sure to make that connection across all sessions so that people see that coherence from session to session. Including time to reflect on learning and making connections to their role, whether that be a school leader, a teacher, a system leader, whatever that may be, and that it's relevant to the selective audience, of course. Allowing for opportunities for collaboration. This is really important, and why we mandated that you use the HQPL cycle throughout your presentation, just to ensure that there are times for people to collaborate during the session itself. Considerate of adult learners. Participants should leave with clear, actionable steps to implement. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, it follows that HQPL cycle. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about our summit schedule and give you some more logistics details as we go through. So here you will see the schedule for day one. It's very important if you notice that the opening session is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on day one. And I know that you guys are all super, interested in attending that opening session as we all are, and we definitely want you to be there. But be mindful of your room location. So if it ends right at 10 o'clock, which it usually does, and then you have to, skedaddle into your room across the convention center, and this facility is like 3 miles long. You have to get from one location to the next very quickly, and what tends to happen is when everyone is leaving, when all 7,000 people are leaving that opening session, it does become very congested. It takes a long time to get up and down the escalators and things like that, so just be sure that you are mindful of that time, and that you are in place ready to present at that 10:15 time for breakout session one. The other sessions shouldn't be an issue. You have more than enough time to get from, your lunch to the next session. So just be sure that you are in place for that appropriately. And so the next slide is day two. Not really going to cover a whole lot of information on this one. Just be sure again that when it's time for that 8 a.m. session five, that you are in place, of course. And then we have session three, and same thing for that. We start at 8 o'clock on day three as well. So just be sure that you are in place for that 8 o'clock session to begin. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about registration. As an approved presenter, registration must be completed in the CVent app. If you have not registered at this point, though, because registration is closed, please be sure to email LDOE events@la.gov so that we can get you registered. Your ticket grants access to attend other sessions taking place during the event. So if you are not presenting at one of the sessions or a couple of the sessions, then feel free to go ahead and join those other sessions as well. Registration includes lunch on June 10th and 11th, and a t-shirt, of course. And an email will be sent from CVent with the event code on May 20th. This code will allow presenters to sign up for sessions in order to attend them. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about arrival and check-in. So ample parking is available, and we do have some links here just for access and reference information, but ample parking is available at and around the convention center for a daily fee, of course. Some parking lots are cash only. Overnight parking is prohibited in most of these. I know a lot of people are probably staying in hotels in downtown New Orleans, and so hopefully your car is just valeted there, and if you're not super close to the convention center, you can Uber on over. We definitely discourage people from walking alone, whether that be in the morning, early mornings, or late evenings. So just be sure that you are mindful. And we do recommend, that you are utilizing those rideshare services, public transportation, or you might be carpooling on setup day and on summit days. Presenters are responsible for loading and unloading their own materials, so just be mindful of that. The LDOE staff and the convention center does not provide assistance with the loading and unloading of materials. And so, some people may have some handouts that they are providing. A lot of things are digital today, so some people might not be providing handouts. And we'll go through in a minute what the LDOE does provide for you. But just be mindful that unloading of materials has to be taken care of by the presenter. There are no covered driveways at the convention center, and just be mindful that this is also June. So we know what happens in June in Southeast Louisiana. It does tend to rain almost every day. So just be, mindful of not getting out and getting wet. The closest drop-off location is the taxi rideshare location. The LDOE recommends that you park in the shuttle hub and unload. And please note that this area is for unloading and loading only. Parking here for more than 5 to 10 minutes may result in the car being towed at the owner's expense. And so just be, super mindful of that. We don't need anyone's car getting towed. I do think that this is a bit newer for this year. And one thing that you'll notice is that The Morial Convention Center, we noticed this on our walkthrough, has replaced much of their carpet in the lobby areas. It is a brand new carpet. And so if bringing boxes in directly from the entrance, please be aware that wheels are not allowed to roll over the carpet of the lobby. Okay, so just try to think about how you're going to get your materials in. Of course, you can carry them. I know that is not the optimal situation. However, we are not going to be allowed to roll any materials or any wagons or any carts over the carpet of the convention center. All registered presenters must check into the Teacher Leader Summit upon arrival. Check-in on subsequent days is not necessary. So of course, you're going to be coming in either for that early check-in or early registration on Monday. And if you do not make it for that time, then of course you can check in on Tuesday morning. You do not have to check in again after you have checked in once. And so here you'll see, I'm a visual learner, so thank you, Reagan, for adding this visual. You'll see that these highlighted areas here are the areas where registration will be taking place. And that starts on Tuesday, June 10th. So this is Hall AB, and that's where the registration will be taking place, or check-in rather. And then in Hall B1, which is here, is where that early check-in will be available on Monday, June 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. We will also be giving out t-shirts at that time. So we do encourage you to use that time for early check-in, just to help with the numbers that are going to be coming in on Tuesday as far as attendees. We often have, thousands and thousands of people that we are checking in on Tuesday, on that Tuesday morning. So if you are available and you would like to drop by for early check-in, please do so on Monday, May 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. At check-in, each presenter will receive a lanyard with an event pass. The lanyard and event pass must be worn at all times during the event to access the lunch halls and meeting rooms as needed. So please do not leave your event pass, your badge in your hotel room. Please be sure that you are, walking around at all times with that lanyard around your neck. T-shirts can be picked up during early check-in, as I mentioned yesterday. And then if you don't do early check-in on the Monday, you will be able to pick them up Tuesday, starting at lunch, and then through the end of the event in Hall B1. So again, that is here. All right, as we mentioned earlier, please be sure that you are arriving at your designated meeting room at least 15 minutes prior to session beginning. And also take some time to test the equipment and the presentation before attendees arrive. So just make sure that you are doing that. Now we're going to move on to information about session materials. There will be chart paper and markers available in every room, every presentation room. It is the responsibility of the presenter to provide all other approved materials for their specific session. And again, I say approved materials because anything that was referenced or provided when you submitted your presentation, we have reviewed. So just be sure that you're not including other information beyond that. Presentation material will be preloaded on the laptops. Presenters should bring a portable drive with presentation materials as backup just in case. So if something were to happen, and hopefully, this doesn't happen, but if your presentation just decided to disappear off of that laptop, off that preloaded laptop, just be sure that you have a way to retrieve your presentation in the event that that does happen. The LDOE will provide the following in each session room. We will provide staff to facilitate room check-in, so you do not have to worry about that. LDOE staff will be taking care of checking in participants who will be coming into your room. There will be a microphone, a screen, a projector, and a laptop. Presenters who want to use a presentation clicker during their session should bring their own. The convention center, the in-house UPS store, and the nearby FedEx location do not rent or sell presentation clickers. Document cameras will not be supplied, but you are welcome to bring your own if you do have one. The Teacher Leader Summit is a paperless conference. Presenters that choose to provide approved printed materials to attendees, if you do not bring them prior, can utilize the UPS store, which is located in Lobby F of the Convention Center. But please note that that is at your own expense and it is not cheap. So just be mindful of that. You don't want to have to be printing hundreds and hundreds of copies there because it is not a cheap situation. After the event concludes, approved session decks and provided materials will be uploaded to the LDOE professional learning platform. If in the event that you do not want your deck shared, please be sure to notify us at ldoeevents@la.gov before June 16th. That's when all of the presentations will be uploaded onto the professional learning platform. So if you do not want your presentation uploaded there, please be sure to let us know before that June 16th date. And now we're going to talk a little bit about CVent. So CVent is the dedicated platform for the 2025 Teacher Leader Summit. It will be used by the LDOE to communicate announcements and updates before, during, and after the event. CVent Speaker Resource Center is made up of multiple pages that will allow you to achieve different tasks. So there you will have your profile where you can update your information such as your title, company, and social media links. There will be a tab for task, which displays a checklist of tasks that are assigned to speakers. Once a task is complete, the speaker can check off the task. And then, of course, you'll have a section for your sessions that displays all of the sessions which the speaker is assigned. Please note that sessions should be displayed starting on May 20th. The Speaker Resource Center link was emailed on Monday. So if you have not yet, please be sure that you are updating your profile. To access the Speaker Resource Center, click Login and enter your first name, last name, and email address. Click Next, and then you will receive another email providing you with a verification code. Then you will enter that verification code on the login site. Click Verify to be logged into the Speaker Resource Center. And again, if you have any questions about the Speaker Resource Center, please email ldoeevents@la.gov and we will for sure help you out with that. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about health and safety. Last week, we did have a meeting with New Orleans and Company, the NOPD, and they provided a lot of great information that we want to share with you today. And so it is just really important, that you are mindful of safety, of course, in the city of New Orleans. They were, like I mentioned, they did provide lots of information to us, letting us know that, they ensure that the city will be safe for our event. But we are ensuring that they prioritize and we prioritize safety and the well-being of all summit attendees. New Orleans and Company has a really strong partnership with the NOPD, and they are ensuring that they are making strides to make New Orleans as safe as possible for all. Together with the NOPD, New Orleans and Company asked visitors to use the same personal safety precautions and to stay as vigilant, as they would at home or in any metropolitan destination. So again, you don't want to go park your car in one of the uncovered open lot parking spaces and, leave things out that would be something that people would want to break your windows and take. So just be mindful of, putting everything in glove boxes, putting it in your center console, just not making things, visible to individuals who may want to do something that you wouldn't want them to do. Also linked on this slide, you will find the New Orleans Visitor Safety Statement. Please access this link for additional important safety information. So if you have any questions at all about anything that you see there, please be sure to reach out to us and we are happy to answer any questions. So again, we are going to provide this presentation, this recorded presentation to you in your email. But at this time, we are happy to open the floor to any questions that you may have. And of course, We cannot wait to see you all in June. It is getting really, really real, guys. Teacher Leader Summit is right around the corner. And as a, small planning team, we are so excited for this to take place, and so excited to see all of the presentations that you took so much time preparing. So we do appreciate you very much. Um, anything? Any questions? I mean, feel free to unmute if you have a specific